Nigerians, particularly among the gladiators that he contested with, are trying to extend the hand of fellowship that this is an election. But the most important is that this is our country, and this nation must move forward. That President Muhammad Buhari has tried his best, and this time around, the issue of ethnic coloration, religious sentiment, and all those things, we should put it behind us and find a way of rebuilding this nation and take Nigeria to the next level. And more so that most of the statesmen and the well-wishers in this country, they have congratulated him, and they believe in his capacity to deliver dividends of democracy and governance to the good people of Nigeria, because this is the assignment he has well prepared for. He drew his own, what we can call it, the curriculum, the syllabus. He taught himself, and he was taught. And he faced the exam, and he had excellent results. It was not an emergency or no accidental person being elected into president of the presidency. And that is why he has been patiently listening to the comments of Nigerians on the way forward, so that this country will move forward. And like the low-hanging fruit that you should have to look at is the issue of find a way of reconciling with the co-contestants, because it's very, very paramount. And he has not been arrogant and be forceful in his statement and arrogating himself on dual popularity. But he felt that this is a contest among 18 presidential candidates, and to the glory of God, he has been declared the winner. And that the most important thing is that regardless of the political divides, they must come together to make sure that this country moves on, because there are a lot of problems on ground.
Of course.
Yes,
so do you think that he's been a first timer, as it were? That's his first shot at presidency.
Yeah.
Well, maybe luckily he was able to get it at the first shot.
Yes.
Do you think that will work for him or work against him in expected deliverables?
Let me tell you, the fact that he has never tasted the position, maybe being the vice president or former president, has nothing to do what is going to be his performance, because it's already been briefed concerning the
affairs of the state.
The affairs of the state. And the various sectors will brief him. And he has relocated to defense headquarters, where the president-elect is normally being housed. And for him to be intimated with the affairs of the country, in all sectors of the political and social economy of the country, so that the debriefing is going on. And behind the scene, he will be regularly interfacing with President Muhammad Buhari, even though he has no authority to take decisions. But it's going to be influential in all critical decisions to be taken by this present government. And behind the scene, we will also be interfacing with the National Assembly, so that to allow for smooth transition of a governance, because what President Muhammad Buhari is now doing is just cross the T and dot the I. And because of that, he's so lucky that the same party is taking over from President Muhammadu Buhari, and APC has its own policy, and he has to consolidate and bring new ideas.
How well will that augur for the people of Nigeria? The same party taking over from the same party, with the same ideology, with the same programs and policies. Yes. How well will that augur for the people?
That has been the secret behind the success and progress that we are recording in Lagos. It could have been so disastrous for another political party to have been declared the winner of the presidential election, because starting from the scratch, it's not always easy for a party to take over from another party at the level of the presidency.
Speaking, what
because when you look at what it will be in briefing the president-elect, there will be no deceitful attitude of nature.
So you think?
It wouldn't happen because they know that, oh, this is our party and this is our government.
Well, I'm more
open.
concerned about what you think President-elect Tinubu will be building on, despite being the same political party coming to power after the Buhari presidency. Many Nigerians have their issues with economic downturn, security challenges, and many other national woes that should not be, or that are really avoidable, as many have also described it. So, what will Tinubu be building on?
Please, I want to withdraw that particular war. There isn't any war in this country. What is happening to Nigeria is a reflection of global issues. And in all sincerity, on a comparative analysis, we know that we have security challenges, we have economic challenges.
Okay, you prefer the word challenges?
Yes, challenges, because Nigeria is not an exception. If you see what is happening in the UK today, what is happening in America and other European countries, you know that under Buhari, this government has fared very well. This government has tried enough, but that enough is not yet sufficient, and that is why the president-elect has said, oh, the good aspect of this governance, we want to continue and trying to readjust some areas and brief Nigerians of the policies and programs to be executed, because that's the problem government is having, and when there's no proper interface between the government and the people, so that the genuine intention of government would not be known. Take, for instance, the Naira designing, the issue of deregulation or not deregulation. There isn't proper communication with the Nigerians, and that is why government people in Nigeria are feeling that, oh, this government appears he has no interest of the common man.
But sincerely, even the president-elect during some of his campaigns have dissociated himself from some of the policies of this Buhari-led administration. So how will he be addressing that? What should Nigerians expect? Because when he says, I'm going to build on the legacies, people wonder, what are they?
You know, the one that is a critical, as at the time he was campaigning, and the time has been declared, as the president-elect, they are quite different. I guess at that particular time I was campaigning, it was a typical Nigerian politician. I get it now. But now, he's taking over the mantle of leadership. And he must be presidential in his statement and utterances. Otherwise, it will create problem for himself. Because the president-elect is no longer the usual Ashaju, but is now a national figure, the father figure of all Nigerians. And whatever he does, he must focus on public good. And even APC as a party was objected to the designing of the Naira, feeling that it was targeted towards making the APC to lose the election. And we know that the critical stakeholders in the hierarchy of APC were not happy at that particular time. But thank God it has brought good things to Nigeria, so that a particular person has won because of money. But the last election, the presidential and national assembly election that was conducted, issue of money was played to the barest minimum. Rather, it is ethnic coloration that more or less bedeviled that election from a particular region of the country, and religious biases, sentiments, which is not to the best interest of Nigerians. But thank God that in the next election, it will no longer be the same, because what most of our religious leaders did in giving prophecies, this and that, doom here and there, Nigerians have seen that, no, let us rely on God. These people, they are not God. What they need to do is to pray for Nigeria for good leadership. Pray for Nigeria to have good governance. And that is what is the most important. And that is why in developed countries, the issue of religion is played to the barest minimum. But you see most of the religions, what do they hypnotize their members. And because of the level of poverty and ignorance of Nigerians, they even see their religious leader as an alternative God. In the process, be clouding their rational thinking. But thank God, with the outcome of this election, things will no longer be the same. People will not become rational thinking. And let me tell you, the outcome of presidential and the National Assembly election will not be the same for the governorship and the House of Assembly. It is going to be more local. And the two elections are going to be extremely difficult for anybody to win the governorship and the House of Assembly, because there are a lot of variables that will influence. You even discover that where the party is popular, maybe the party has won the presidency, it may even find it difficult to win the House of Assembly election in a particular place because of local variables.
What are these variables?
Take, for instance, in a particular community, community conflict, community clashes, issue of this particular person is from an area, and because of that, this area they have done it 2 or 3 times. This is very regardless of the fact that we have won the Senate and won maybe you have senators elect. But when it comes to the House of Assembly, so no. We also must be part of the machinery of governance. You know, that is why we now go back to the grassroots to convince our people that continuity must be the in thing, and that whether you belong to the opposition or no opposition, you are going to enjoy good governance. Take for instance now, in a we practice democracy.
Very well.
Majority we have their way, but minority have their say. The president-elect will no longer see other parties as opposition. Will no longer see other parties, other people as no part of his administration. You have to take everybody, whether in the angle of religion, in the ethnic something or regionalism. No, you should no longer think in that perspective, because in a presidential system of government, is answerable to the people, is accountable to an average Nigerian, and that is why he must see himself as a reflection of a true Nigerian, not being parochial or sentimental to his ethnic environment. And thank God, when you look at the manifesto, the Renew Hope, you discover that most of the issues there are tailored towards ensuring that every Nigerian is carried on board, particularly the Nigerian youth.
Your point is well made.
And the Nigerian youth have absolute confidence in Ashadu, because he has done it in Lagos. He's always taking the youth into consideration, and he has said he's going to have interface with the youth.
Time, we have
and that Nigerian youth, they are so much focused on the knowledge economy.
Very well.
And that is what he's going to encourage.
Now, how well do you think the president-elect will be able to maneuver his way through the murky waters of
politics?
Not just politics,
yes.
Governance itself.
Yes.
Currently now, the rat race to who becomes the Senate president is very heated up, and many things like that will still come up.
Yes.
You understand that people are also scheming and strategizing on who will become the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Definitely.
And so all of these things put together, if one is not careful, will deviate the attention from governance to intense politicking, when there should really be time for governance, settling down to serve the people who elected him to power. So where do you think he will be able to manage his way through?
Let me tell you, this is the period of transition.
Very well.
It's not a new thing. That game must be in place, because in politics, it's about interest. You have national interest, also have individual interest. And you know that you have contributed your own quota to the victory of the party and to the victory of the candidate. And apart from that, my region must be within the confinement of a governance. And you know, we have 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, and the 6 most important positions are normally allocated across the 6 zones, though it is not in the constitution. But because of the provision for federal character, and for the president to carry everybody along, so that at the level of this federal government, every region must occupy a critical position to give that region and the people in that region the confidence that they are part of this government. Otherwise, you have agitation, you have protests, you have infighting within the party and government.
Now, Alonge, if you look at it as a political scientist, top in the game or in the race You find Adams Oshomole declaring interest.
Yes.
You find Abdulaziz Yari. You find Ahmed Lawan, the incumbent and the president, interested. You also find Kalu Akpabio interested.
Yeah.
Now, of all of these, as a political scientist, let me know your scientific permutation on this matter. Who do you think she could likely be the number 3?
The president has come from the southwest.
Very well.
The vice president from the northeast.
Very well.
The two are set already. Are you getting now? President of the Senate, Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Secretary
To the government of the
of
Federation.
the Federation, and the President of which other one? And the Deputy Senate President. Those are the 6 critical positions. And the party must sit down and take into consideration the interests of Nigeria and the configuration of Nigerians. So that he actually on his own cannot sit down in the comfort of his office or home and just start allocating. You have to, the critical stakeholders, we have to look at balancing. How to balance, because like what has happened now, the presidency, the president-elect is from the southwest. The vice president is from the northeast. The southeast is nothing for the southeast for now. The south, nothing for the south now. And what you need to get now is by appointment. It is no longer be by election. And appointment is very critical. And during the appointment, they must consider the south and the south, and regardless of the vote from the southeast, the southeast must also be considered. But in considering the south or the southeast, which state and also the capacity to deliver will be best selected for the speaker, for the House of Rep, for SDF, and for the deputy.
I don't know to what extent
I know
agree with
that like what the president has later said, that is going to be fair to all.
Very well. I do not know to what
the
extent you will agree with me that this is not going to be a tea party.
It's not going to be
especially
easy.
when you look at the statement from the party, the APC.
Yes.
The APC is now saying it wants to be wary of a possibility of Muslim.
Yes.
Now, that's the same thing it jettisoned while settling then for who flies the flag of the party.
I that perspective of your thinking.
You understand? So, how easy will it be for the president-elect to be able to settle this and quickly too, so that it can be able to hit the ground running in the interest of Nigerians?
Thank you. The issue of Muslim ticket. Ordinarily, religion is supposed to be a fundamental issue as far as governance is concerned. But look at the polarization of Nigeria and the control of religious leaders, both in Islamic religion and Christian religion. They are critical stakeholders. But APC adopted Muslim ticket on the basis of winning the election, because Ashaju is from the minority Muslim in the south, and the minority minority Muslim in the south, and picking the vice president candidate from the north, where we have minority Christian, it will be very, very suicidal for the APC, because the game of politics is to seek political power, and it is when you get the political power, you can decide, this is what I want to do. If you lost the election, the ideas you have, that's with you. But that has been done in appointing the critical, the remaining 4 positions. Ashwaju and APC and the power that be must look into consideration to compensate the Christians with what we call the so-called juicy appointment, so that they feel part that they are not alienated. And I'm assuring Nigerians that Ashwaju is going to do that. Even in his own family, you know what happens? The wife is a senior pastor, not the ordinary pastor. He's a senior pastor, and most of the children are Christians. And those who are just crying foul that a Muslim ticket, this and that, all those, the issue of religion is the opium of the people.
Well, finally,
and it should not be a
sorry.
consideration. But thank God, Nigerians have not looked into that. Nigerians, they have made up their mind, and they have been rational in electing Ashwaju Ahmed Tinubu as the president-elect.
All right, just before you go, we've been mentioning that there is need for consideration for all the regions that have not been represented,
Yes.
and even the Christians and all that. And this happen to be things that are not really factored into the Constitution. You are a lawyer. Don't you think there's need to graft this into so that it becomes a whole process?
Let me tell you, there is no way the constitution of any country can actually capture all the sentiments or variables that may likely happen. But in law and in politics, we have some what we call the norms and practices that serves as engine to at least to recondition the political machinery for the good of the society.
Oh.
Because ordinarily, Nigeria being a poorer and heterogeneous society in terms of ethnicism, in terms of regionalism, in terms of religious aspect of it.
Being a secular state.
Being a secular state as provided in the constitution. The leadership of the country and the party in power must take all those things into consideration.
All right,
because Nigeria is so polarized on the basis of religion, ethnicism, and regions.
And every other consideration.
I
have to thank you very much.
Just
for
have
sharing your
confidence in
thoughts with us.
Ashwaju for good governance.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us on the program. We do really appreciate your time and the knowledge you've shared. Thank you so much for coming.
I appreciate it.
Everyone, it's here we say a big thank you to you for being part of the program this morning. And of course, we've been able to take custody look at issues having to do with national development. And of course, you must also understand that violence is not the way to go as we go into this next round of elections come this weekend, on Saturday precisely, for the state assemblies and in other states where governorship elections will be taking place. Thank you so much for being part of the program. For my colleague, Felix.
Yes, we just want to advise that stay out of violence, don't do anything, nothing that can put you in the way of the law. Just be law abiding. I'm Falashade.
We are very peaceful in those states.
I'm Sunday Kolaole. Thank you so much for being part of it. Let's do this again Wednesday morning, God willing. Have a great day.
I want to call on all of us. This is your government. Own this government. It's yours. It is yours. Don't think Akeredolu is yours. One of you. I will remain one of you. This is your government. Take your government. Let us all in our individual areas, in our respective homes, play our own role. Play your role. It will be all right for this state. It will be all right by all of us. I say it will be all right for this state.